This is an Alter Nerd Reality podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Adventures of Runeterra, another wonderful D&D based podcast from us over here at Alter Nerd Reality. But this time, it is set in the wonderful world of Runeterra, which is, of course, the prime plane for the League of Legends universe. Just so you know, we will be using 5e D&D rules and some of the newly released Riot and D&D Beyond partnered content for the base of the world. And for those of you that have no idea what D&D even is, don't worry, because I'll give you the short and sweet version. D&D is collective storytelling limited only to one's imagination. Anything you want to do is contingent upon a roll of the dice, where the dungeon master, or DM for short, decides if it succeeds or fails. Essentially, we live in a world controlled by the DM, but what we do in it is entirely up to us. Now, this is the very first episode, so welcome everyone and thank you for joining. Now let's meet the cast. I am Heberhammer playing Pharaoh, the gentleman thief from the Serpentine River. And next we have Chewburger84.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I am Chewburger84, and I'll be playing Taylum, the renegade from Piltover.
Arguably the coolest voice that we have on the podcast.
I want to follow that guy.
And then we have, of course, Ray Mayhem.
Hey guys, it's me, Ray, and I will be playing Nose, the Ionian Witch of the Wild.
Ooh, the only female on our podcast. And lastly, we have, I'm sorry, not lastly, Sean, I almost forgot about you.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
We have
Nothing's changed.
We have the Irishman, who you guys might also know, along with, I guess, most of us. I didn't mention this before, but from the Ruination podcast from Legends of Runeterra, we have the Irishman.
What's up, guys? I will be playing Drek, the salty barnacle.
Aww, he sounds so cute.
Yeah, the cute one of the bunch. And then lastly, of course, we have our DM and the god of Runeterra. It is Shibby.
Hi everyone, in the great words of a great man, I will be playing the eyes and ears of Runeterra.
Aww.
Who said that originally?
Don't know. Anonymous.
Yeah, should
Never mind, I made it up. It's all
just
me. Yeah, it was me all along. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and waste no more time, and let's just go ahead and jump right in. Shibby, take it away.
Welcome to Bilgewater, haven of smugglers, pirates, and criminals of all stripes. The free city beckons to its twisted streets all who flee a past of notoriety and danger, or who are enticed by the siren call of new opportunity and freedom. From the tops of its towering cliffs and ramshackle tenements to the lowest carving bay and gambling den, intrigue lurks around every corner and behind every doorway. It is to the lowest on the low taverns in Bilgewater, the lusty squid, that you have all been drawn tonight. You're far from Fleet Street here. This deep in the docks, only the most desperate souls make their homes, and the most spiteful villains dare to drink. The streets run red with the runoff of the carving bays and kill houses, and all who exist here have long become accustomed to the stench of rotting flesh and sea brine. For newcomers like yourselves, it's crippling. One by one, you've left the twisting, fog-shrouded alleyways and entered the dank murk of the lusty squid. An inverted longship, the squid ceilings are low and cramped, and the common room is hazy with smoke and lit by faint candlelight. The crowd is thin and quiet, just a few tables of degenerates curled over their mugs and games of dice, and a fiddler and flautist play sad sea shanties in the corner. The rum here is watered down, the dice are clearly loaded, and the air vibrates with the possibility of violence. It is to this god-forsaken place that fate has brought you this evening, whether it be in search of a cure, the lure of coin, the restoration of your legacy, or the promise of revenge. As you look around the common room, I'll get each of you to describe what you're doing and what the others see when they look your way. Chu, do you want to go first?
Sure. So Talem is seated in basically one of the corners of the room. That way he has the ability to sort of see anyone that comes in and out of the door. But to everyone else, it just appears that he's casually just leaning back in his little booth, if you will. Just relaxing and enjoying a meal.
Awesome. Hebrew.
So currently, Pharaoh is sitting at the bar, and he's kind of looking over at his left at a group of gamblers sitting there at the table playing some card games. He's having a bit of an inner struggle right now as to if he should try to go over there and try to win a few more coins, or if he should kind of tighten up the old purse strings and maybe save it for another day.
Awesome. Sean.
Drek is kind of, walking around a little bit, pretending like he's got a destination in mind, but in reality, he's eyeing this hottie that came off a ship. So, she looks like she's from a distant land, and that gets Drek going. So, yeah, that's his main focus right now.
And Ray.
Nose is being as stealthy as she can be, but she's very distracted by all of the cards and dice, and these are all things that she's not used to seeing, so she's kind of stopping and staring and observing everything that's around her, and she's sort of making her way through the crowd as if she's kind of measuring out every person that's there, and it looks like she might be looking for something or someone in particular. She's not settled in any one spot just yet.
Great. Farah, Nose, and Drek, can I quickly get you guys to give a quick description of yourselves for the benefit of everyone?
Yeah, so he's about 6 feet tall with dark brown hair slicked back and trimmed short on the sides. He has green eyes and a mildly sophisticated look to him, at least for Bilgewater. He wears a 3-button black vest and matching pants with an Albert chain and a pocket watch. Beneath the vest, he has a white Winchester button-down open at the neck with a loose tie. Sleeves are rolled up, revealing several tattoos relating to the Serpentine River.
Nice. Drek.
Yeah, so Drek is about 2'6". He's a Yordle. He's got a brown mohawk with tan fur, and along the tan fur are these, swirling. I don't want to say tattoos, but just a dark colored fur, right? As close to a tattoo as you can get for a Yordle. And he's got green eyes and an eye patch over one of those eyes. He's about 115 pounds, solid 115 pounds.
That's a dense little nugget right there.
That's right. So, but yeah, and he's got a button down, loose shirt with, of course, his sleeves are cut off, got to show out the guns. And then... And then he's kind of he's struggling to stay on 2 feet, but he's doing it, and he's got a bottle to his side, holding on to it.
Interesting.
Cool.
Awesome. And Nose.
So Nose is a Vastaya, so she has some human characteristics. Her body shape is vaguely human-esque, but she's very small. She's just 5 feet tall, but she's taller than Drek, which is cool. But she has this dark green, and you can't really tell if it's skin or like really smooth fur that has a lot of like blue and yellow kind of worked through it, as animals would in the wild to camouflage themselves. That's sort of what she has going on, but she stands out very much here. She has this dark blue hair that in the right light looks black, but when the light catches it, it's definitely a very, very dark blue, and she has these unsettling yellow eyes. And the hardest thing to miss about her is she has this tail that seems to kind of flick back and forth of its own volition, and she, even for a Vastaya, is very She stands out. she's not a typical Vestaya. She has like a relatively doe-like face. Like her face is very innocent and pretty, but everything else about her kind of looks like a mishmash. Like she kind of has like wolf type feet, and her tail, it is like reminiscent of something almost like reptilian. So nobody really knows what she is, and she has these very elaborate robe/armor on that is something that people definitely wouldn't have seen before. So she's trying not to stand out, but by the nature of who she is, she stands out like a sore thumb.
How long is the tail, out of curiosity?
It's a 4-foot tail, so it's a long tail.
Jesus.
It's almost as long as she is. It can like curl up and like sit on her shoulder and stuff, and it's prehensile, so she can pick stuff up with it.
I think we should take bets on how quick Rule 34 gets invoked.
I was about to say that too.
Jesus Christ.
That was why I asked how the tail length was, because I'm like, she's going to get drawn in Rule 34.
Oh, well.
Okay, so as you glance around the rest of the tavern, you can see the bartender at the bar. He's an old, salty sea dog with grey hair and a beard. Everyone knows him as Old Bill. The other things of note you can see in the room is that at one table there are 3 gamblers engaged in a game of dice. One is a tan-coloured, ferret-like Vestian dressed in lavish purple robes. Another is what looks to be a turtle-like creature known as an ironback. And then just a plain old human. While at another table you can see 3 more human sailors, 2 men and a woman engaged in what looks to be a drinking game. What do you guys want to do?
I will go ahead and go up to the gambler's table. And do I know this ferret-like creature?
You do not.
I do not? Okay. I'm going to walk up to him and say, well, I see you're playing a game of dice over here. You mind if I partake?
Oh, you like games of chance, do you? Come, Spit likes to take people's money.
Sure, I think I will join in. And I take a seat and start to pull out a bag of gold krakens.
Alright, you see all the other players at the table's eyes suddenly open, and the human who had been playing for a second just before stands up and goes, well, that's too rich for my blood. Gonna go get me a drink. And he stands and leaves an empty chair at the table now. And so you sit at that table with Spit, the Vestian, and the turtle creature. And Spit displays a series of dice in front of you and says, have you ever played Beggar's Dice before?
Don't believe I have.
Oh, it's a simple game. Basically, everyone has a round of betting. We keep going until everyone's passed, and whoever's bet the most gets to go first. And what we do then is in descending order of the bets, you pick from a D4, or a D6, or a D8. But no one can pick the same dice. Once everyone's picked their die, we all roll, and whoever rolls the lowest wins the round. We do that 3 times, and then whoever has the most points gets the pot. You get points based on which die you use. So if you use a D4, you get 4 points, but if you use a D8, you get 8. Once you've used a die, however, you have to toss it away. Make sense?
I think I got it.
Very good, very good. Well, I'll go first, and he kind of pulls out his money pouch, picks through it and says, I'll bet 5 silver. And he puts it down on the table. Play goes to the ironback, and the turtle says, I'll bet 6 silver. And he places 6 silver upon the table, and play passes to you.
I believe I'll bet 10 silver.
Oh, a high roller, I see. I think I'll pass. Play will pass to the ironback, but he too says, I'll pass. And so you now have first bidding.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to pick which dice you want to use, which will lock it out from any of the other players.
I am going to roll the D8.
Ooh, okay. Play turns to the ironback, and he says, I'll take the D4. And Spit, the Vestian, says, I'll take the D6. And so, everyone at the table takes their die, they shake it in their hands, and I'll get you to roll your D8, Faro.
Okay. Oh, that's a 3.
That is a 3, okay. And you see, as everyone else at the table reveals their dice, you see that Spit the Vestian has rolled a 1,
Wow.
And the ironback has rolled a 3, and the spit goes, "Well, look at that! Lucky me! Well, looks like I have an early running in the pot."
Can I use perception to see if he's cheating?
Go for it. Make a perception check.
I know this little mother. Or I know this guy. He's gonna be cheating.
Somebody forgot which podcast this is.
Yes, I did. That will be
We'll just
cut.
bleep it out.
All right. Oh, that's a 7 plus. That is gonna be 2, so a 9.
It doesn't look like he's cheating.
Ooh.
I'm gonna stand up from the table, and I'm going to tell him, well, I've been gambling for quite a long time now, and I must admit, I'm outmatched. So, what say that we go ahead and take a break from this game? And you know what? I just happen to be putting together some people for a particular job that pays quite a lot of money, and I could use a creature of your talents. So why don't you and I just go in the back outside the tavern and we have ourselves just a little discussion just about the details of the job and whatnot.
Well, you can say it in front of our friends, surely.
And I want to reiterate to him, oh, I think this is something you're really gonna want to hear.
Alright. Make a persuasion or intimidation check.
Okay. Persuasion. Yes, persuasion. Here we go. All right. So that is a 14 plus a 3. So that's a 17.
Alright. The Vestayan suddenly looks nervous, and if a ferret could sweat, it does. And then he looks and he goes, "Well, I don't want any trouble, so alright. Let's go talk outside." And he stands up from the table, and the rest of you can all see there's a little tension going on by the dice table as the Vestayan and Pharo stand and walk towards the door. And you stand out in the fog-enshrouded alleyway. He goes, "Now look, I can tell you're a little peeved at the game, you know, it's only a bit of luck. It just seems that luck's not going your way, my good chap, yes. Spit doesn't cheat.
I take. Does he have the dice that he was using on him?
Yeah?
I push him up against the wall, and I investigate him and the dice.
Alright, make an investigation check.
All right. Okay, so that is a 12 plus investigation. So that's a 3. So that is a 15.
Alright, so as you pat him down, you plunge your hand into his pocket and withdraw the dice that had been in his hand, and as you roll one of the dice on the cobblestones, lo and behold, it comes up 1 every single time. But you also felt a paper, your hand brush up against a piece of paper in his pocket, but you were too focused on the dice and you withdrew those instead. And he goes, "Oh, it looks like your luck's come back. How unusual."
I go ahead and read what the paper is.
And you're gonna grab that too. He goes, "Hey, that's mine.
What does it say?
And upon it you see a map. Mm-hmm. It points to a location in the slaughter dock. It's one of the docks, one of the carving bays called the Bloody Key. And upon it you also see a sketch of a striped kraken, and in its stomach you see what looks to be a box has been drawn. While at the bottom, scrawled in a very unclear hand, are the words, "For delivery to the wise man's folly." And the Vestayan snatches the paper out of your hand and says, "That's mine! How dare you!"
I actually go ahead and push him up even harder up against the wall and snatch the piece of paper back from him.
What could you possibly be interested in that for? I'm here to do business.
I'm sorry, friend, but you cheated me in there, so I'm going to go ahead and cheat you right here. So let's just go ahead and walk away, call it even, and I'll be on my merry way. And then I drop him, let him fall to the ground, and I say, "Now you have yourself a good day." And I walk. Nay, I strut back into the tavern.
Alright, he dusts you off, and as you out of the corner of your eye, you see him spit you a venomous look. And then he slinks back into the tavern behind you. The rest of you, make a, are you trying to disguise the piece of paper on you, Faro, as you enter into the tavern?
Yeah, I put it in my the pocket of my vest.
All right, make a sleight of hand check for me.
Okay. Ooh, my specialty. All right. That is a 14 plus a 6.
Yeah, okay.
So that's going to be a solid 20.
I was going to ask for everyone's passive perception, but unless someone's got a 20 for their passive perception.
Never mind.
Nope.
Never mind.
No one notices that the piece of paper is now in the possession of Faro as he walks back in. A little self-satisfied look on his face, and you see the Vestayan return to the tavern behind him, slinking in, looking very irate.
As I'm walking through the tavern and I catch my eyes with this creature that is, not normal to this area, I go ahead and go up to her and I say, well, what do we have here? I must admit, I've never seen your kind before.
Nose will turn to him and kind of startled look and be like, I would imagine not.
Well, Bilgewater just happens to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. If you don't know the right people, that is. Lucky for you, though, I just so happen to be the right people. And luckier for you still, I actually am in desperate need of a few hands to help me out with the particular job that I have, let's just say, stumbled across. So, you being an outsider, to say the least, what say that we help each other out here, and maybe you join me for a quick little teensy-weensy job, and we can put a few coins in your pocket to help you out with whatever it is you might be looking for. I have a feeling that a creature such as yourself may be incredibly valuable in this particular situation I'm planning for.
Nose is gonna look him up and down and kind of take a moment and be like, I am not here for gold. I'm here for information. So, I'm not saying no, but I don't think what you have in mind will help what I have in mind.
Well, lucky for you, information just happens to be one of my specialties as well. What kind of information are you looking for?
I have she's not sure whether to trust him or not, so she's like looking around and she's like, well, fuck it. Like, she doesn't know or cut that out. Well, screw it. We don't know. She doesn't know anybody here, so she's gonna look at him and be like, I am here looking for someone who has information about a problem in my home. And the only thing that I know that I'm looking for is someone who is wearing an amulet that is shaped like a sword. So, would you happen to know anyone like that, Mr. Information?
Can I think in my head real quick as to if this rings any bells?
Sure, make a history check for me.
All right. Okay, what's my bonus to that? +1. All right, so that is going to be a 11 total. Is that enough?
Doesn't really ring any bells.
Do I know anyone that might know of it?
You could always ask some shopkeepers. You have some contacts, but you would have to leave the town.
Okay. All right. Well, that doesn't ring any bells, but I just happen to know some people that might be able to help with that. So, look, bottom line, I know your type of people, the Vestayan. Am I right?
Yes, but I don't think you know my type of people. And she's just gonna stand there and, like, while he's not paying attention, can she pick his pocket with her tail?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
A sleight of tail check is the case maybe.
18 plus 2.
Oh,
20.
so I imagine that beats your passive perception, Faro.
Can can I, while she's pickpocketing me, can I pickpocket her?
Make a sleight of hand check.
All right. Sleight of hand is my specialty, by the way.
My speciality.
That's actually a 14, so I got myself a 20, dirty 20.
Jeez.
You both manage to pick each other's pockets almost simultaneously. Can you describe for the other person what it is they find in the pocket that they've picked?
Oh, like what she found in my pocket?
Yeah.
If she picked my pocket, I guess she probably found some like a gold kraken and some lint. That's about it. Well, actually, I should ask. Which pocket did she pick? Did she try to go for a back pocket, or did she which pocket?
It would probably be a back pocket.
Okay, then yeah. You found a gold kraken and some lint. Congratulations.
So
what did I get?
Which pocket did you pick?
I picked. What pockets do you have?
I mean, I have like cloaky sort of
coat,
stuff on.
Yeah, your like coat. Yeah, I went ahead and picked the interior pocket of your coat. Don't ask me how.
You got like a handful of like strange looking like herbs and seeds and stuff like that, and you're not really sure what to do with them, but you can feel them like in your palm that they don't want, like you can't just flip your hand over and dump them.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. So with that, since I don't know that she picked my pocket and she doesn't know that I picked hers, I'm going to go ahead and say, well, I think a woman of your kind, from what I know of Vestians, might be useful in a situation like this. In fact, I've heard of some that are even able to morph into other creatures. Now, I'm not saying that that's your kind, but I think anyone from that area might be useful in this particular situation.
Nose just kind of nods her head, and she like brings her tail around, and she holds up the gold kraken in front of him, and she's like, that is true, and I will help you, but maybe you should pay more attention to yourself, slick man, and stop worrying about those around you. And then she's gonna like pat down her pockets and hold her hand out like, come on, like give me my stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and look at her and slowly bring up my hand with everything I found and say, looks like maybe you should learn to do the same. Obviously, we are quite well suited to be in each other's company anyways. She's
just gonna smile and hold her hand out and like almost like it's kind of alive. All the plant matter is gonna kind of move into her hand, and it's gonna make like a little ball and like be happy to be there. She's just gonna smile at him and be like, you clearly know nothing of the land that I am from. Anyone who picks my pockets and doesn't know what they're getting, and she's gonna hold it kind of up by her face, kind of like you would like schmooky poo, like a cute little animal, and she's gonna be like, they are going to get way more than they bargained for, and put it back in her pocket.
I'm gonna look back at her kind of like uneasy about what just happened, and then I'm gonna say, well, I think it's safe to say that you might be right about that, but lucky for you, I just happen to be a fast learner. So what do you say?
I say you've got yourself a deal. And she'll hold out her hand.
I shake her hand, and then I say, then follow me. And I start to walk out of the tavern.
I will follow him, but on my way out the door, can I glance around to see if I see anyone with that amulet that I'm looking for?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, that is a 17.
All right. To the unknown person on the conversation, do you think with a 17 that Nosei saw anything?
I don't.
You see nothing as you go out the door with Faro. So in the meantime, Drek And Taylum, what are you guys doing?
So Taylum has watched this exchange go down, and he was in the inn, predominantly scanning for a Vastayan. And there's only 2 in the room right now. And given the exchange of what he just saw go down, he doesn't want to lose the chance that perhaps the Vastayan that just left is the person that he's looking for. So he goes out after the 2 that just left.
All right. Are you trying to be stealthy? You hanging back?
No, what I'm going to do is walk out the door and call out after them if I can.
Go for it.
All right. So, Tillium very casually steps out of the door after the 2 of them and just calls out, "Excuse me, a moment if I can."
I'm going to turn around with my hand in like the inner jacket pocket very quickly, as if to potentially pull something out depending on what he sees.
Well, calm down there, handsome. Clearly I wasn't talking to you.
Nose will turn around and make eye contact with him and be like, "Can I help you?"
Well, I'm hoping so, miss. You see, I clearly saw that man come up and approach you, and then you left, seemingly of your own volition, but I needed to make sure that you're okay.
That's very noble of you, and yes, I am fine. Thank you.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you look like you can handle yourself. Clearly, if there was a tussle, he'd be running away like a screaming banshee.
I'm taking out a card real quick while this interaction is happening. I'm just like slyly taking out a card and holding it to my side.
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Okay. Ooh. That's an 8, but then I have +6, so it's a 14 total.
Okay, if anyone can beat a 14, they notice that a card is now secreted in Pharaoh's hand.
My passive perception is 14.
I only rolled.
All right, so
If it
you've
meets,
noticed
it
he's
beats, baby.
I only rolled a 12.
You beat the meat. All right.
So Taylum is scanning the face of this Vastayan, looking for any sort of reaction to what he just said.
Nose will look at him and be like, "I'm not really sure what it is that you're looking for, friend, but I was here tonight to find someone who had information about my home, and with your intense interest in my well-being, as it were, I'm guessing perhaps you are that person."
Well, perhaps my cover was very thinly veiled after all.
So she's gonna step forward and say, what do you have? How much do you know? And what do you want for this information?
Well, I hear that you happen to have a lead on some rather rare old gun parts.
She looks at him and looks back at Pharaoh. She looks at him and says, "Perhaps I do."
I take note of that.
Well, then perhaps I can help you too. That all depends on what you've got.
So Nose is going to kind of square off with him and look him dead in the eye and be like, how much do you know?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've just said multiple things in this conversation, but perhaps I need to be a little bit more direct. Banshee, Veil, ring a bell.
Ah, yes. And her face kind of falls. And she's going to look at him and be like, "Fine. My lead on these old gun parts is a little hazy at best, but our handsome, if not so smart friend over here seems to be the one who can help us suss out the rest of this information. He has some sort of burning needs to go down to these slaughter docks. If you come with us, maybe we can all work together, and I'll leave with the information and riches that we want."
I'm going to, then seeing the conversation shift to me, I'm going to go ahead and then kind of take a step forward and say, "Well, I do believe I heard the word handsome. I think that you guys must be talking to me. So let me get this straight. You," and I point towards this person in front of us now. I say, "You are looking for Piltovian gun parts. Am I correct?"
That's right.
And then you, and as I point to Nose, are looking for a thing called the Banshee's Veil, which is what he has. Is that correct?
More or less, yes.
Okay.
No, I never said that I had it. I said that maybe I have information about it.
Which is what I am looking for.
Okay. So, and I am in need of people to get a particular job done. So, I think indeed we can all help each other out, as Nose had mentioned. So, what about if you two go ahead and help me with this? I believe I can, in fact, help you find these rare Piltovian parts that you're looking for, because I happen to know every single person in Bilgewater worth knowing. And, we make this transaction mutual for all of us.
That works for me. How about you, friend?
So Talum kind of looks. Talum looks relatively skeptical, but just responds.
Yes, I suppose that works for now.
Good. Then, I think we may need one other person to get this job done. So, do you happen to know anyone? And I'm pointing towards, what's your name, by the way, sir?
Well, I'm Talum, friend. What's yours?
Talum. Pharaoh is the name. And I suppose you already know Nose?
I do now.
There we go. So we're all friends now. We need one other person. Do you happen to know anyone else very local?
First of all, it's insulting you think we need anyone else on top of me. Clearly, I'm more than capable enough.
Well, I just don't know you quite well enough to say that.
Drek, what are you doing at this point?
So Drek is, he totally forgot about the person that he was following and is flirting with Buru woman at the bar right now. But he looks around and he realizes that the Vestaya that he was, eyeing has left, and he kind of like freaks out, and he throws 2 silver pieces on the bar, and he's like, give me the strong stuff. And then the bartender go ahead and gives him a last bottle to take with him, and he kicks open the door, walking out of the bar, and he's like, yo ho bo no pirate's wife for me. And then he kind of like stumbles into Talum.
Nose wants to scoop him up. She wants to pick him up. She wants to scoop him because he's so cute.
Does she scoop him, or is
Can't
it
she?
this
Are
not
Are
in
you
her head?
resisting, Drek?
Oh, I'm not resisting. No.
So she's gonna bend down and be like, you are so precious, and pick him up and be like smushing him against her chest and like not thinking about it, but just like overwhelmed by how cute he is, but he's being smothered by her boobs.
and Drek he's like mutters under his breath, I hate this, but I'm not gonna say no.
Talum steps in at this point and just says,
Look, I don't mean to be short.
and then stares directly at Drek when he says that.
Does this team really need a mascot?
I immediately like my eyes dart to him, and I'm just like, no one asked you, buddy. Okay, what were you saying, sweetheart?
And then Talum says,
I'm sorry, you need to be above this tight to participate in this conversation.
At this point, Drek waves his hand away from him. He's like, anyways.
I go ahead and intervene, and I say, all right, let's all calm down just for a quick second. I have to say, this is the weirdest interaction I've ever had, especially in a place like Bilgewater. But I am in dire need of getting this thing done now. So, Drek, is it?
Yeah, Drek's my name. That's me.
Drek, are you interested in potentially making a lot of money to drink what I can only imagine is a lot of rum?
It just kind of depends. Are you going with him, lady?
I am going with him. Don't you want to come with us? And she is very obviously putting on the charm.
And then I immediately I looked at them. I go, I follow the pretty lady.
And as Drex kind of pulls his face out long enough between Nose's breasts to look at you, it finally clicks through the couple of rums you've had. That face looks familiar, and you think back to afternoon's activities.
So thinking back and making this realization that I indeed know him from somewhere, I am going to go ahead and say, before we take our leave, it seems like you two got some catching up to do. And I point over to Talon and Nose, and I say, why don't you and I go get another drink inside? And I point to Drex.
Who are you?
My name is Pharaoh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop you right there. I don't care. So that's nice and all, but I'm gonna hang out with her. So you can go get a drink though. I'm not gonna stop you.
All right. Well, it just so happens that I think I might know you, in fact. So, and at this point, I still have, I slid the card that I pulled out earlier into my waist pocket, but I pull it out now and slyly. So I guess I should probably make a sleight of hand check on it.
Sure, go for it.
Ooh, that is a 6, but I have a 6 for the sleight of hand, so it's a 12.
What's your passive perception, Joe?
12.
All right, you noticed he's pulled the card from his.
I immediately look at him, and it's like I'm just completely sober. I'm like that whole kind of stumbling idiot kind of just stops, and then I go, I would reconsider that and just consider exactly what it's worth to do what you think you're doing.
Seeing him as not really like a threat, I go ahead and show my card at this point, noticing that he realized it, and I would say, well, seems like the cards are on the table at this point, so let me go ahead and tell you right now, you are actually wanted for a bounty, and no one here has any loyalties to you whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and make a fine offer for you two right now. And I point over at Nose and over at Talon. And I say, if you two join me in helping take him down right now, I will even share the profit that we get from turning him in. What y'all say about that?
Nose is gonna cradle him like a baby and turn her shoulder to Pharaoh and be like, no. I understand that you have other obligations, but you dragged us all out here in the street to help you. And you are not taking away the cutest thing that I have found on this godforsaken wharf since I've gotten here. We are going to do this job, and then you are going to let the Yordle go. Do you understand me?
Real quick, what is the bounty for? Do I know what the bounty's for?
Yes. What specifically are you asking?
I want to know, whenever I picked up the bounty, I want to know what the bounty was for Drex.
Wanted alive and delivered to the wise man's folly.
But no reason as to why he's wanted?
No.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, it just so happens that this man is a known criminal and has done some quite dastardly deeds involving murder. And I look over at Talon and I say, remember those Piltovian gun parts I was talking about earlier?
Yes.
Well, as I mentioned, I do have a friend that can help out. What do you say you and I team up right about now? And I'm sorry, Nose, but we're going to have to take this little guy down.
Okay, so can I please get a deception check from Pharaoh and insight checks from Nose and Talon?
Okay, that's a 15 for me.
That's a nat 20. So when we have combat, I'm gonna roll like crap.
I have a +5 on this thing. Let's see. Oh, that's an 8. All right, so that's a 13 total for me.
You stand all out in the alleyway, fog enshrouding you and stirring about your feet and knees. In one corner of the alley, you see Nose cradling the tiny Yordle figure of Drek protectively. In the other corner of the alley, you see Pharaoh, a card still in his hand, slightly glowing with arcane energy. And then in the other corner, there's 3 corners to this alleyway. Talon, you stand.
One of them 3-cornered alleyways.
As you all eye off each other, the faintest kind of echoes down the alleyway. Talem, you know now that Pharaoh has no idea about these gun parts. He does not know to what you refer, and you know now that Pharaoh just made up that whole murder charge thing. And
This is not working out well for me today.
and it's into this awkward, non-racial based standoff that the door of the Lusty Squid door opens and Spit the Vestayan stumbles out, muttering to himself, "Took my damn paper, son of a... I can't say that word." And he kind of kicks a stone on the ground and again stumbles out. Drek, you recognize this Vestayan as the one that you were following this afternoon. And it begins to turn its head towards you, Pharaoh, and says, You took my paper. I want my paper back. I'm here to meet someone, and I need that paper right now. Turns out my memory isn't all it used to be, but just give it to me. Give me the paper.
I turn to him and say, I don't know what this man is talking about. It seems he's talking gibberish.
So at that point, Talon pulls out his pistol and aims it at Pharaoh.
This has gotten dark quick.
And says, I'm getting tired of this. Why are you lying to me? What piece of paper? Hand it over to me.
So I am still holding up my card and I'm looking at him right now and I'm saying, well, I have a piece of paper, but it's the paper of the job that I was talking about earlier. This man cheated me in a gambling game that we were playing just 5 minutes ago. He deserved what he got. Now his paper's mine, and this job is for all of us if we so desire it. Noticing that, like, this is turned against him very quickly. And in fact, as of right now, I am rescinding the bounty that I had on Drek over there. And you know what? We've all done some bad things in life, so I'm willing to forget this one. So why don't we all just go back to square one and just get this job done together right now and say, F you to this guy.
So keeping the pistol trained on Pharaoh, from the back of his pants, Talum removes a dagger and points it at the Vestayan that just come in, Spit, and says,
You. Who are you supposed to meet and what's on that paper?
While this is going on, I'm gonna kind of sidestep over toward where Pharaoh is and like get next to him and just kind of eyeball him while he's standing there and this exchange is going on.
Drek turns to Nose while she's cradling him, and he goes,
It's okay, baby. You can go ahead and put me down. I gotta do some man stuff right now.
and
I'll put him down.
and so yeah, I just stand in front of Nose, looking at Pharaoh, and he kind of knows what's up.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the response from
Pharaoh, make a perception check for me.
Okay. Okay. Perception check. Ooh, that is a 16 plus perception 2, so that's an 18.
As you notice, Nose sidle up to you, you feel that familiar, maybe not for you, feel of fingers slipping into your back pocket.
I instantly reach out my hand and grab whatever is touching my pocket right now.
Nose.
In my hand is the paper, and I'm just gonna kind of like look at him and just like wink at him and look at the other Vestaya, and with his like, I imagine Pharaoh's hand around my wrist, like wave the piece of paper and be like, "Is this what you're looking for?"
Drek immediately jumps onto Pharaoh because he sees him as threatening. Nose.
Okay. Let's roll for initiative.
Well, wait, can we have? I do want to know what the pool shark said back to Talon.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is all happening almost simultaneously, and in response to Talem's request, Spit says, "That's my paper, and I was here to meet somebody. I want something pretty. They had something pretty, and for the pretty thing, I was going to give him a job."
And what was the pretty thing that you were looking for?
I like things that you, alright, it's jewelry. I like jewelry.
I see. It seems that I have gone after the wrong Vestayan this evening. Perhaps I don't need any of you after all.
And it's this point, Adrek, from his 2-foot level of the ground, hurls himself onto Pharaoh.
Can I try to intercept him, like snatch him by the scruff before he gets a hold of Pharaoh?
I will get anyone who wishes to engage in this interaction to roll initiative.
Okay. Oh, that's a 2. Well, 4.
God.
That'll be
I
4
have a
for
little
me.
bastard on my face. Okay. Rolling. That is a 16 plus. Where is the? Oh yeah, initiative 2. So that's an 18 for me.
And Drek?
I'm at 17, but doesn't it count because I engaged? Don't I get like advantage or something?
I would say that everyone's on edge, so there's no surprise rounds.
Okay.
But you are basically mid-air launching towards him, this little ball of fluff, and Pharaoh, you can see a Drek coming straight for your throat, and you're up first.
I turn and let him basically dodge, but I basically just noticing that he's drunk. I turn and expect him to fly. Right
okay, so
by
you're
me,
dodging.
basically.
That'll give him disadvantage on his check.
Yes.
I would say, what are you doing, Drek? Are you trying to grapple him or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to grapple him like on, not on the face, but like I just want to grab his collar, kind of like I just have like my feet on his chest and kind of like try to shake him. So that's the goal that I'm at right now.
Drek, make an athletics check with disadvantage, and
Okay.
Pharaoh, you can make an athletics or acrobatics check of your choice.
Okay. I'm gonna take an acrobatics check. My athletics is
All right.
terrible.
Rolled a 1.
Oh no!
I'm still waiting for my roll, but I guess it really doesn't matter at this point. But just in case I roll a 1 too. Now mine's a 12 plus 2, so it's 14 for me.
Okay, so just as you predicted, Pharaoh, Drek goes flying over your shoulder into the wall behind you.
I'm gonna say, well, he is a feisty thing. I'll give him that.
And at this point, Speak goes, whoa. All right. Clearly, we're all a little confused. How about we just get us all out in the open and say what everyone wants? I'll go first. I came here to meet someone. They were going to give me the pretties, and I was going to, give them a job. Now, you go, you cheating mother fluffer.
All right, so you're gonna be giving a job to someone that's coming to you. So, who is this person that you're meeting?
And he looks in Taylum's direction and goes, well, I think it might be him. Am I wrong?
Possibly. I didn't come looking for a job. I came looking for parts.
Ah, all right. Well, do you have the pretty then? Show it to me.
Do I look stupid enough to bring that to an exchange without knowing you?
But you do have it, is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
So what are you saying? Speak plainly.
I'm saying tell me where the gun parts are and maybe I won't blow off your freaking head.
Make an intimidation check for me.
Okay. It's gonna be 15.
15. Oh, okay. He goes, you can see he doesn't seem to be cowed, but he goes, fine. Spit works for the new captain of the Wise Men's Folly. He has what it is you seek, but first he wants yous to get something for hims in return. You've heard of old Gangplank, haven't you? What used to rule these parts? Well, when the new top dog Misfortune sent old Gangplank into the loving embrace of the bearded lady, his ship, the Deadpool, was blown to smithereens, and bits were scattered all over the harbor. My captain, you see, he's learned of a great treasure that was aboard the Deadpool, and that a kraken scoured the wreckage and ate the chest that contains it. As luck would have it, hunters caught the kraken and dragged it to the slaughter docks this very morning. Striped like a tiger, they say it is, most peculiar, and hung as we speak at the Bloody Key. This would all be much easier if you just took that bloody piece of paper off, this cheating cardsman over here. But anyway, I'll keep going. What's the captain wants, you see, is for you to get the chest. Cuts it out if you have to, and once you've got it, meet me at the Dock of Orphans and we take it to the Wise Men's Folly. Then, and only then, I, the captain, will give you what you want.
So Talim sort of looks thoughtfully like,
Well, that doesn't sound like it's too bad. What do you morons say? You want to team up for this? You can have all the treasure you want. All I want is those gun parts.
Noticing like the situation of, you know, how it had turned against me so quickly, I'm going to go ahead and put my card down. I'm going to go ahead and say, well, as long as I get my hand on some gold, I'd say I'm down for such a task. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up the little guy, and I'm going to say, no hard feelings, little one. And I'm just going to place him up since he was...
Drek immediately goes,
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
All right.
and then I kind of, I wait for him to kind of stand up, and then I just, I dead leg him, right? So,
I'll take the dead leg.
And then I'll walk back over to Nose, and
Are you okay, baby?
She's gonna look at him and be like, did you hit your head when you took a tumble? I'm not a baby, but never mind. Come. And she picks him up, and she has like a knapsack on and like sits him in it so he can, like, his tiny legs can keep up. So she's gonna carry him, but it's like wearing like a little baby backpack,
like a
thing,
baby Bjorn.
so he can just
Drek so quickly turned into Baby Yoda. It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just be like look kind of in amazement at what's happening right now. Just be like, this has got to be one of the strangest and most immediate relationships I have ever seen. And I'm gonna go ahead and walk over towards Talim and the Vestayan, and kind of be like, well, it looks like since you're now my employer, I do apologize for what happened earlier, although I will not forget that you were using that loaded dice. Now, I can respect a gambler's hustle, but you have to remember, you cheat me once, I cheat you twice, you cheat me again, and I'm gonna mug you in the back of a tavern.
No, fine. You can keep the dice.
That's a good idea. I think I will take
As long
that.
as you get the chest, Spit doesn't care. Now, are we all in an understanding? You meet me at the Dock of Orphans once you've got the thing, then we go to the folly. But don't go opening the chest now. What's in it's not for the likes of you.
And what is in it?
That isn't for the likes of you. Do I have to repeat myself?
Drek whispers to Nose, and he goes,
I kind of want it now.
she's gonna whisper back, me too.
Talim pulls the hammer back on his flintlock pistol while aiming it at the Vestayan now, and just says,
Do I need to repeat myself?
Why does it matter so much to you?
Well, because it matters a lot to you. Anyone that cares that much about a treasure means there must be something pretty valuable inside.
Do you want your parts or not?
Do you want to live or not? I already know where the parts are, I know who your employer is, and where the drop point is. Why do I need you again?
So I'm gonna lean over to Talim, and I'm gonna say, with my back kind of facing the Vestayan now, the short Vestayan now, and I'm gonna say, look, I just happen to be a master with thieves' tools. I say that we just go ahead and take this job from him, and I'll crack it open on the way. What do you say?
can I roll a perception check to see if he actually is a master of thieves' tools?
Make an insight check, yeah.
Keep in mind, I am a master of thieves' tools.
That's only an 11, so...
He seems genuine. He does seem genuine.
Alright. So, so did he whisper that so that the Vestayan couldn't hear it?
Yeah, I imagine so.
I intentionally did, yeah.
Okay. So at this point, he sort of hears that, gives Pharaoh just a barely registerable nod as if to say he understands, and then pushes the hammer back in on the pistol, saying to the Vestayan,
I'm only kidding, friend. It's just a new joke among new colleagues.
And the Vestayan kind of eyes you, shifting, says,
All right. We'll see you at the Dock of Orphans later with the chest.
I can't wait.
Drek whispers to Nose,
It's kind of a messed up joke, to be honest.
okay. Spit disappears into the fog. You produce the paper with the map to the Bloody Key. And following the map through the warren of carving bays, kill houses and butcheries in the slaughter docks, You reach it, a huge dock surrounded by cranes and towers designed to hoist sea monsters out of the water to be cut into more manageable pieces. You see the colossal bulk of the striped kraken has already been suspended from chains above the dock, its tentacles dangling limply into the water below. But the cutting doesn't seem to have commenced. 2 10-foot platforms, one above the other and slightly offset, have been installed into the flesh of the kraken to help the work, a good 45 feet above the water. A tower is on the dock next to the creature, with 2 levels connected by ladders. At the top of the tower, a crane extends over the kraken, from which hangs a huge, nasty-looking, sharpened hook. The gap from the dock and tower to the kraken looks to be about 20 feet. You watch as a stream of blood-soaked workers leave the dock, until all that remains are 2 guards standing at the base of the tower. The rest of the dock is quiet. Pharaoh, can I get you to make a history check for me?
Yes, you can.
And Drek, how long have you been in Bilgewater for?
I've been in Bilgewater for a long time. I'm pretty old, so I'm always on the move. But yeah, I've been here for a bit too long.
All right, you can make a history check as well.
That was a 13 for me total.
And Drek?
4.
4. So, Pharaoh, you've been here a little longer, and you've been, you've done jobs on the wharves before, and you know that it looks like these workers are leaving the dock, but that this is probably a shift change and that more will be showing up soon.
Okay. I'm imagining the whole crew, quote unquote, is around me now, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm going to turn to them and say, all right, guys, I want to let you know right now, these people that are leaving, it's not going to be empty for long. They're just shift changing. So if we're going to make our move now, we best do it quick.
I would agree with that.
At this point, I guess I want to roll for now. Actually, where is the chest? Is like inside of the kraken.
It's inside.
Okay, this will be interesting.
So Drek kind of goes. He looks at him and goes,
So the treasure's inside the kraken, right?
Apparently it is inside the kraken. I would have thought that they would have taken it out by now, but I guess they haven't gotten.
While Pharaoh's talking, suddenly I peer underneath the kraken, and I kind of like grab one of its, because it's hanging, right? It's hanging by the hook right now.
It's hanging above the water. So if you wanted to reach it, you'll have to jump from the dock to the
okay.
To the tentacle
So
creature.
I jump from the dock to the tentacle creature.
How high is it?
It's a 20-foot jump. So I'll have to get you to make an athletics check for me.
Can I access is it like if I go into the water, can I access can I get to it? Okay.
Yeah, you can actually. But you're left off anyway. So.
Here I go. Athletics check. 19.
Sheesh.
19, oh nice. So you actually managed to, you see the yordle, all 2 feet of him, they're launching off the dock, and he managed to latch onto one of the tentacles, and he begins swinging there back and forth gently. And it's at this point the 2 guards by the tower look over in his direction, and you can all see that it seems like their interest has been piqued by the sudden motion over there.
How far away are the guards from where I currently am?
From you, probably 60 feet, and from where they are to Drek, probably about the same.
Okay. I go ahead and I move closer. Actually, I guess eyeing the guard towers, I move over towards one of the guard towers in case I need to go up and stop them.
All right, make a stealth check for me.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 7 plus a 4. So that is going to be an 11.
All right, and you suddenly, one of the guards is starting to walk in the direction of where Drek had leapt off, while the other turns and goes, "What was that? Who goes there?"
So I want to sneak to kind of the opposite end of the dock from where we are. And when I get there, I imagine there's like crates and stuff, and I want to touch one and cast light on it so that they see this 20-foot light just erupt across the dock in the opposite direction from where we are.
All right, make a stealth check for me.
All right. Ooh, that's a 21.
Nice. All right, and so All of you, Taylum, you're still hung back, I imagine, but the rest of you all suddenly see this light begin to, like a lighthouse beacon, begin to glow from the other side of the guard, and the guard turns and goes, "Oh, what the bloody hell's going on here?" And he starts walking over towards the light and your position.
And as he's walking my way, I will try to like counter his movement to, like, you know how when you look at something bright, the things in the shadows you can't really see anymore? So I'm kind of counting on that to be able to move back toward where the group is.
Yeah, easy done with your stealth check. So you can see now one of the guards is still heading over towards where Drek has jumped off, but it seems for the time being that the guard that noticed your approach, Pharaoh, has been distracted by the pretty shiny thing.
Great.
So yeah, at this point, Talem's just kind of holding up the rear, just kind of surveying the situation. So he's sticking to the shadows as much as he can, and just preparing to react in whichever direction he needs to, based on which way it kicks off.
All right, so Drek, you're scrambling up the one of the tentacles of the Kraken at this point, and it's at this point you notice, or you can hear at the very least, the footsteps of the approaching guard on the dock behind you.
I crawl up as quickly as I can and try to go through the mouth of the Kraken.
Ew.
All right.
Into the belly of the beast.
That's easy for a creature of your size. And so you begin to like push your way through the esophagus. It's like being rebirthed back into the body as you go through towards the yellow sac of the stomach.
Yep.
And you emerge into a horrendous ooze. You're assaulted by the putrid stench of acidic bile. A pool of this thick yellow ooze is all about you now, and the fumes wafting off it sting your eyes. You take 2 points of acid damage, and you get the horrible feeling that the longer you stay where you are here in the stomach, the quicker you'll start getting digested. But as you glance around, make a perception check for me.
All right. 17.
17. It's at this point in time you can spot what looks to be a chest, a foot square cube made of hard black wood inscribed with intricate runes. On the front is a large brass clockwork mechanism which looks to be some kind of lock, and it's sitting embedded into the side of the stomach lining. So I kind of swim over there, right, in this this bile, and I pull out my trident and I just kind of start trying to hack away at it being stuck in the side there. Easy done, and it comes loose, kind of floats up into your hands. As you continue to do this, you take another point of acidic damage. You can feel your armor and your skin beginning to sizzle as you're slowly digested by a dead kraken. What do you want to do?
I want to go out the way I came. And so I grab the chest and I kind of dive back down and push my way through the esophagus and try to get my way out and fall back into the ocean.
So from your position, Pharaoh, hidden behind a box, you can see Drek go into the mouth of the Kraken, disappear for about 10 seconds, and then just go, and then he's just covered in yellow ooze, and he just goes, and he drops into the water, and then you hear the guy go, bloody hell, all right, there's definitely something going on now. Look, whoever's there, just show yourself. And he's looking down into the water where the ripples are parting.
So Drek, he knows, it's going to bring attention and whatnot. So he takes the chest and like holds his breath and kind of swims to the far end of the dock, away from everyone and emerges.
All right, and it's at this point, who has a passive perception over 13?
I do.
That's it.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Okay.
we only have 12.
No, say you've snuck back to the position with Taylum. Pharaoh's a little bit ahead of you, hiding behind a box, looking at the back of the guard who's now staring down into the water. And with your vantage point, you look up and you can see that the chains that are suspending the Kraken above the water, there are small little monkeys beginning to crawl down, 3 of them. They're made of black smoke and have red, coal-like eyes. And they're beginning to descend down the chains, seemingly drawn by the splash of the water and the possibility of booty.
Okay. How far away are they?
They're 60 feet away, and they're up about 45 feet. But they're descending, they're very nimble, and they're descending very quickly towards the rippling of the water.
Okay. So what I will do is I want to close the distance on foot between myself and them. And when I get to the bottom of the Kraken, I want to cast fairy fire on them so that these little monkeys are like outlined in like UV light. So they're like purple outlined little monkeys. And like,
all right,
like be like, dude, what is that? And I'm gonna yell that and hope that the guards see these like monkeys and they think that's what's been causing the problems.
All right, they make a dex save, I believe.
Yes.
What is your spell save?
12.
12. They succeed. So no creatures actually become illuminated by the fairy fire blasted into the air, but you all have now seen, and from your position, Taylum in particular, people just keep like deciding to run out from your position of safety for no apparent reason. Nosei charges forward towards the dock, blasts fireworks into the sky, and the guard turns toward her, draws his sword, and I'll get you all to roll for initiative.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's going to be 7 for Taylor.
All right, it's going to be a 16 for me total.
18 for me.
14.
Okay. First up are the powder monkeys. Two of them poop into their hands some explosive substance, and they hurl it in the direction of Nosei.
Oh no.
They use explosive excretion. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Is that really an ability of theirs, by the way?
Yeah, it's called explosive excretion.
That's hilarious.
What was it, a dex save?
Yep.
Would be a 16.
16 succeeds. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage twice, so 16 points of bludgeoning damage as these two explosions of explosive poop go explode around you, and you see the third monkey drop into the water, and it emerges through a wave of bubbles next to you, Drek. You guys are basically the same size, and it seems to have spotted you and is like swimming towards you. All right, the guard who's drawn his sword, seeing you now, Nosei, has a slash at you with his. Oh, sorry, no. It is actually your turn, Nosei. I apologize.
I am going to. What healing spells do I have? Because that took me way, way down. I'm gonna healing word myself. So get. Alright, I get 6 back from that so that I don't go down. And then as a bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon. And
you won't be able to do both, unfortunately.
oh shoot. Alright, I will then. The guy, is he at me? Like if I leave?
No, he's
okay.
No.
So then I am going to take off and try to head back into the shadows more toward where the light cantrip is going, so that the light kind of obscures the darkness and it makes it harder to see me.
All right, Pharaoh, you're up.
All right, so the other guard that I was going toward, has he noticed her or?
No.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and run back over towards her, but I'm just going to be making sure at the same time that I'm not going to be spotted by the other guard. And how far away was is the original guard that was chasing Nosei?
From you, about 30 feet.
All right, 30 feet? Okay. All right, so I'm going to find a good place to kind of hide on the way over there. Probably like 10 feet away or so from him.
Yeah, easy.
All right, so once I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and take out a card from my pocket.
Can you please make a stealth check for me, just to make sure that you're successfully hidden?
Yes, I will go ahead and do that. 1 second. Here we go. That is a 13 plus.
That succeeds.
Oh, all right.
So you are hidden.
All right, I am one with the knight right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take out a card from my vest pocket, and I'm going to go ahead and infuse it with some arcane energy. And as I do that, let me go ahead and take a roll here to see what it's going to be. All right, let's see. Oh, all right. So this is a 4. So actually, it's going to be turning into a kind of very iridescent color. It almost looks like a rainbowy glass. And after that, you see me close my eyes for just a second, and then you see the card turn a bright, brilliant gold. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and swiftly strike the guard with the card. And yeah, let's see if it hits.
All right.
All right.
Make a ranged attack with advantage.
So that is, oh my god. Thank god I have advantage, because that was a 2 right there. All right, so this one is a 14 plus.
That hits.
Oh, okay.
That hits.
Great. All right, so as it hits him, these 4 bright portals open up all around him. These portals to this other dimension, this shining, shimmering color radiating from the portals. But you can't quite really see through them, but you can see that they're just radiating with divinity. And all of a sudden, 4 giant golden ethereal chains shoot up from the portals and just latch onto his arms and legs. He can still move, but the chains resist him from moving at his normal speed. So in his upcoming turn, his speed will be reduced by half, and he can only attack one person once for the next turn.
Awesome. And you also get your sneak attack damage. So roll your damage for me.
All right. Total, that is going to be 12 damage to him with my sneak attack and the damage that it does naturally.
That's total.
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay. Next up is Drek. You are under the water, clutching onto the chest, and you see, enveloped now by steam, this little elemental powder monkey coming swimming towards you, its eyes greedily burning and looking in your direction.
So I pull out my trident, and I'm trying to swim away. How far away is the monkey?
Right now, it's like 10 feet.
Okay, so it's within range. Okay, I go ahead and I try to jab it before it gets close to me.
Okay. So it's got, your weapon has range?
Yeah, 20-foot range. So.
So you're throwing it at him?
I don't want to throw it. Let's see. Well, it says real quick. So it says 20 and then 60. I'm not sure what that means.
That's throwing.
That's for throwing.
Oh, okay. So reach is 5 foot. Okay.
Yeah.
I clicked it and it told
Let's
me.
say you think you have a 20-foot trident.
I was like,
20
I didn't know if
foot
they like
trident
extended or something. It's like a selfie stick trident, you know?
Extendo trident.
He's underwater shouting, I am Aqua Yordle.
So I pull out the trident and I try to like scare it away before it gets close to me.
Okay. You can move if you want to as well.
Yeah, I just want to keep moving away from him. I'm trying to get out of the water so I can get better bearing.
All right, so you return to the surface.
Okay.
The dock is about 20 feet above you, and you can see one of the posts holding up that you might be able to scramble up. Make an athletics check for me.
Am I taking the chest with me during this?
I would certainly hope so.
Okay, I just don't want to leave the chest at all. So.
It is in your possession.
All right.
Yep.
Come on, baby. Oh, 9.
9. So you begin to like crawl up this algae moss slicked post, and because you're still holding onto the chest under one arm, you kind of get up halfway and then you're just stuck. And you very slowly begin to slide back down.
I imagine that powder monkey's just waiting for me at the bottom there. Just
Oh, yeah. He's kind of like greedily waiting.
No longer
for it.
concerned with chasing you.
All right, the thug engulfed in chains, slowly tries to start making his way over in your direction. Pharaoh, Taylum, you're up.
All right, so where I am right now, how far away is what's happening with the guard, and how far away is my Yordle friend?
So you can't see your Yordle friend at the moment, but you know that he went into the water. Well, you know he jumped onto the Kraken. To him, it's 60 feet, and to the guard, it's 45.
45 feet, okay. So what I'm probably going to do then is I'm going to walk towards the area where the guard is attacking my colleague, and I'm going to walk the full 20 feet of my movement. And when I get to the end of it in one full brandishing, I basically pull my pistol and immediately fire at that guard.
All right, go for it.
All right, now I'm going to take a gamble here. I'm going to roll my sharpshooter trait, which does give me a -5 to this chance to hit. But if I do hit, it's going to do more damage.
This feels familiar.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
Odd.
Are you suggesting this is big
Yeah.
gun?
Exactly.
Big barrel swinging.
Big barrel
All
swinging.
right, big barrel swinging. That's better. That's better. All right, so we're going to roll here. So that's going to be good, just god awful. That's going to be a 7 plus a 7 is 14, but minus the 5 takes it back down to a 9.
Wow. So your look has not changed.
Do you want to describe for us what happened there?
Yeah, so Talum's basically thinking, all right, I'm going to do this real sort of just slick walk, and I'm just going to throw this massive, swinging awesome movement, and it's going to look very slick and cool, and it's going to impress my new friends here. And then as he pulls the gun, the light that my colleague has thrown up in the air briefly glints off the gun and blinds me as I'm pulling it, and I just fire blankly into the dark.
Okay. It is the powder monkey's turn. It begins to swim up to the surface, spots you on the post, Drek, and it climbs up behind you and then slashes at you with its claws. That is a 17 to hit. What's your AC?
13.
13, so it hits and you take 5 points of slashing damage plus 3 points of fire damage. As you can feel this burning, raking sensation down your thigh, right on the ass, as it goes. All right, the other two monkeys, spotting you now clutching onto the chest, they begin to drop down onto the deck and are kind of jumping up and down, waiting for you to reach the top of the deck. No, say it's your turn.
Do I, or can I see the monkeys, or do I have an idea of where Drex is?
Make a perception check for me.
That is a 17.
Yep, so you can pretty much tell that these monkeys have all now gathered here, and you can sense that that's probably where Drek is currently.
How far away are they?
They are 30 feet away from you.
Okay, so I am going to use my movement to run over there, and then I want to punt the monkeys off the end of the pier and just like line them up as if it is like, taking the goal shot at a soccer game and like punt them for distance.
All right, we'll say this is a shove. Can I get you to make an athletics check for me?
Yeah.
And they will be opposing this roll.
Woo! That is, you said this is athletics? Oh, that's a 19 plus 3. 22.
So excited about it.
Describe for us as you punt this monkey into the water.
So I see them there, and as someone who is, Nose is used to annoying animals, and just kind of flashes back to growing up in Ionia and there being a type of monkey there that was very annoying, and she just lines them up, and with that perfect long stride just and punts them off the pier and looks down and just kind of waves at Drex as he's making his way up, because I can't reach down and help him, right? Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately. And you see the umpire raises his hand. It's good. Pharaoh, you're up.
Me again? All right. So this guy is coming back to where I was now. Does he know exactly where I am since I was stayed kind of hidden after I threw it?
He does now that you've attacked him.
Okay. So my sneak attack is now
So
off the
if you want to
table.
hide again, you need to break line of sight again.
Okay.
Which is very easy. There's boxes everywhere.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm.
Okay, make a stealth check for
All
me.
right. Ooh, okay, that's an 11 plus. Where's my stealth again?
That succeeds.
Oh,
Not a
sweet.
problem.
Okay, nice.
So you sneak off, hide behind a box.
All right, and then I kind of guessing where he is, judging from the direction that he was coming at before. I kind of wrap back around, and then I shoot off another 2 cards at him.
Okay.
And does this? I just want to check with you. This does now apply my sneak attack, correct?
Correct.
Sweet.
And you have advantage on the attack.
Awesome. All right, so rolling for. Do I have advantage on both? One's actually my bonus and one's my action. Do I have advantage on both or just one?
So you have advantage on one.
Advantage on one. Okay, that's what I
We'll
thought. All right. Yep. So the first one is going to be. Oh, that's a 6. All right, let me roll the second one for the advantage now. That is going to be 14 plus 4, so that's an 18 to hit on that one.
That hits.
All right, and then the second one is going to be a 12 plus 4. So
That hits. Roll for damage.
All right, 2d4. All right, that's going to be... Sorry, lots of dice to roll, and then that's a 1. So that's a 6 plus the previous 10, so it's a 16 damage.
All right. Do you want to describe for us what happens?
Is he dead or is he just kind of screwed up?
He is screwed up.
Okay.
And has tossed his sword down and basically dropped to his knees and
Oh no!
Good. I actually didn't really want to kill him, so that's good. Okay, so I am going to take out these 2 cards, and I'm going to toss both of them at him, and they're gonna hit him both right in the back of the leg, basically, and so he's just gonna kind of drop to one knee whenever he gets them. I'm still kind of hiding in the shadows a bit, so I see that happen and wait for him to make his next move.
Beautiful. So you see him drop to his knees and surrender. Drek, you're up.
So I guess I'm still holding on to this one of the posts, right? Trying to get up the pier. So I take some rope out and I throw it up to Nose.
Brilliant. Okay, so so you're trying to climb up that way?
Yeah, because it's too slippery, so I can't climb up the post.
Yeah,
so.
no worries. Make an athletics check for me with advantage.
Okay. All right, so 14 and 19.
Ooh.
19. You slip your way up, but the monkey takes an attack of opportunity as you pull away from it. That is an 18 that hits, and you take 3 points of slashing damage and 3 points of fire damage. But you are now currently on the dock. Nosei pulling you up by the rope, and one of the monkeys is still below you on the post, and one is standing next to you. The third you saw get punted into the water over your head.
Yeah.
The guard that you've really messed up. Pharaoh goes, all right, I don't want no trouble. Don't want no trouble. Talum, you're up, and you can see this happening.
Okay, so there's just a couple of monkeys to deal with now. Now the guards surrendered, right?
Don't call your party that.
Whoa. So, how far away are the monkeys from me now? About 25 feet, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, cool. So I'm going to close that distance, and I'm going to take, again, another sharpshooter traded shot at the closest monkey when I get within melee range.
Okay, go for it.
All right. That's going to be a 17 plus 7 minus
hits.
5. That's going to be a 19.
That hits, my friend.
Okay, so that is going to be a d6 first. That's going to be a 5 plus the 3 damage for that. That's going to be an 8 plus the 10 from sharpshooter. That's going to be an 18.
18 damage. Wow.
Well done.
Nice. And you have a bonus action stab, right?
I do. I was going to see, is this thing still alive?
Yeah, barely. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take that bonus attack, which is called Blade and Black Powder. So when I use my action to shoot in the gunfighter form, you can strike at a creature within range, make a melee attack with a +5 modifier, and on a hit do damage. Alright, so rolling on that one. Ooh, it's only going to be a 9 plus a 5. Is that plus a 7 still? No, it's only for the knife. So just go 14, yeah.
That hits.
Alright, great. So that's going to be d6 3 damage. That's going to be 8 total damage.
How do you want to kill this thing?
Alright, so to replay this scene, basically, as he's closing the gap, Taylor basically starts singing, "One little monkey jumping on the bed," and then shoots him as he gets in range, and he doesn't die. And he goes, "And then he fell and bumped his head," and then stabs him right in the face.
Oh my god.
And it explodes in a burst of flame and smoke. The other two monkeys, one sopping wet in the bay, the other one clutching onto the post below you, see this, exchange a wild amount of chittering, and dive onto the water and begin running for it as they see that was their brother you killed.
Did he have a name?
His name was Harambe. It was a baby. It was 6 weeks old.
Oh, no.
It was the pick of the litter.
Now his monkey brother is going to come back as Monkey Rambo.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is how you made your arch nemesis.
Can we make his name Inigo Montoya?
Yeah, exactly. And you are the six-fingered man. But you guys are out of combat. The one guard is on his knees. The other guard hasn't noticed any of this. He's just kind of standing and staring at the glowing light. He's just entranced by this thing. And the other one goes, "Look, misfortune doesn't pay me enough for this. You guys can just go and do whatever you want. I'll pretend you were never here."
So I'm going to walk over to him and I'm going to say, "Don't worry, friend." And then I'm going to just kind of knock him out. So like non-lethal damage, just knock him out from there.
All right. I won't even bother for you to roll. He is just locked out and having a nice dirt nap.
I don't even like let him just fall to the ground. I like slowly lower him down after I knock him down. And then I pat him on the back 2 times.
Very romantic.
And then I walk towards my group.
Well, while that happens, Drek falls on his back, exhausted, and just kind of like lays on the ground. He's like, and then the treasure is just
and
right beside him.
Stinks. My God, he is covered in this yellow goop, and it's like a sizzling smell of yordle. I don't know what sizzling yordle smells like. It's probably pretty good. It's like chicken fingers.
I feel like all the Australians are like, "Oh yeah, I'll try that."
I was just gonna say, of course it was the Australian that's like, "Oh, that sounds.
Throw another yodel
I'd
on the
eat that.
barbie.
That's fine."
It's a small furry creature. I mean, that's pretty accurate.
All right, yeah. Reacting to the stench, I'm just like, oh my god, that is the most foul thing that I have ever smelt in my entire life, and I don't even really want to touch the chest right now that he's clutching his hands to.
And so at this point, you all kind of can hear the sound of approaching footsteps, and you can see the glow of approaching torches in the alleyways. It seems like the second shift might be on its way.
Oh shit! So I am like, all right, guys, I do believe it's time for us to take our leave. The second shift seems to be coming, and I point over to where the glow of the lanterns are.
Nose will nod, and she is going to pick up the chest, and she's gonna hold her hand out to Drex, and even though he stinks so bad, she can't leave him behind, but she's gonna pick him up the way you carry like a puppy, like by the scruff of his neck, but by like 2 fingers as far away from her as she can, and look at Pharaoh and be like, "You seem to know your way around. What is the quickest way that we can get out of here?"
Can I go ahead and use my like knowledge to see like what the quickest path would be?
I won't even make you roll for it. You are well accustomed to these alleyways, and you can make a way out.
All right, yeah. So I know the quickest way, and I'm like, all right, everyone, just follow me, and I sprint that way.
Beautiful. What do you guys? You don't run into any confrontations or anything like that. You manage to make it away before the rest of the dock workers return. Where is it you're heading to?
I'm bringing them over to like a safe spot that I know is like okay and just kind of deserted to give us some time to talk and in my mind potentially open the chest. So as I get there, I go ahead and turn to everyone and I say, all right, so now that we're here, first of all, you need to go take a bath or something because I cannot do my work with trying to crack this thing open with you smelling like that.
I'm already ahead of you, and Nose is like pulling like flowers and herbs and stuff out of her bag, and she won't put Drex down because she knows he's gonna run, but she has like a barrel of water that she's kind of like preparing a bath in and she's like getting ready to scrub him, and he's taking a bath whether he wants it or not.
Well, and Drek is too exhausted to even contest at this point. So
plus he's probably loving that he's about to get a bath from her anyways. So.
I just don't like other people watching while it's happening. Okay, so.
I think a Playboy letter to the editors.
Either look away or look directly at me. All right, so now that I know she's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and look at Talem, and I'm going to say, all right, you and me, let's go ahead and open this thing up. I'm going to take out my thieves' tools, and I'm going to go ahead and get real close to the chest, kind of analyzing it. I'm going to look up at him and just go, all right, so let's decide right now, whatever's in this box, you said that I could have, or I should say we would have, and I point towards the other two, and I say, but you get any gun parts that we may come across. Is that right?
Well, before you do that, Handsome, I would suggest maybe checking for traps on that box.
Yeah.
Anyone that goes to that much trouble to hide it's either covering something very expensive or something very powerful.
I'm going to say, of course I was going to do that. I would not have opened it otherwise. And I kind of eye my way back over to looking at the chest, and now I check it for traps.
Drek rolls his eyes at that comment. So.
Can
Hebrew
Nose
rolls his eyes in real life at Sean's reaction to that comment.
as Nose, and I want this to be canon that she is treating Drex like a puppy. This is like her bag dog. Like she
You are the Paris Hilton.
Yes,
of,
yes. So
And I'm the Chihuahua.
she is like she's giving him his bath. And she sees this exchange, and she's gonna say to Pharaoh, hold on just 1 second, and she'll cast Detect Magic on the chest.
Okay. You sense what seems to be necromancy, perhaps? Or some sort of magic like that.
Oh. From the inside or from the outside?
From the inside.
Pharaoh, I would be very careful about opening that. There is some dark magic inside that box.
I look over at Talem and I'm like, well, if there's some dark magic in here, what do you think we should do? Are you thinking we should bring it back to our furry friend, or are we thinking we should go ahead and take the risk and crack this thing open?
Well, either way, that chest is going back where it came from because I need those parts.
I'm going to go ahead and look at the box, and I'm going to... I guess first I'm going... If I crack it open, he's gonna know. How does the
While he's mulling this over, Talem is just backing up just a little.
Is it a lock where does it look like a lock that, considering I am an expert with picking locks and whatnot, does it look like a lock that I can, if I want to, like seal the lock again to make it look like it was never tampered with?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a box.
I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to pick the lock.
Okay, make a dexterity plus proficiency check for me.
Okay. Oh shit! That is a D20.
Oh. Did you get a nat 20?
Yeah, I got a straight up nat 20. I can take a picture of it if you guys want.
Nice.
That is a nat 20, baby.
All right.
What do I need to do after that? You said a proficiency roll after that?
No. So you just, that is fine. Trust me. That is fine.
Okay. All right.
So what the total would have been 20 plus your dexterity plus your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, with my dex is 2 on top of that, and then plus my proficiency, just so everyone knows what it would have ended up being.
Yeah, you just want to know how good it was.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, where
With a natural 20, the box just decided to open itself. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's what I got.
You hear a series of spinning cogs shift into place within the lock, and then the top of the chest then animates into a shifting set of interlocking geometric pieces that spin and slide apart like some sort of elaborate puzzle, until the inside of the box is finally exposed. A cloud of dust puffs out and blinds you momentarily, then dissipates, leaving you staring into an empty box. But only for a moment. Black mist begins to swirl in the bottom of the chest, and then spills forth as 4 tendrils of smoke, enveloping one of each of your hands. The mist suddenly constricts your hand for a painful moment, then fades away, leaving a black mark the size of a gold piece in the center of your palms.
What?
It is at this point that you hear behind you the slow, ominous stomp of heavy footsteps in the alley behind. You turn to see a tall, imposing figure emerge, a powerfully built man with a scarred face and long dark beard, dressed in a pirate's red coat and black hat, and most conspicuously of all, sporting a metal left arm. The man brandishes a hand cannon and cutlass, and his voice is a vicious growl.
Speak the devil's name, and he shall appear. Ye have the mark, Gangplank's mark, and now your souls belong to me. From this day forth, you be doing the devil's work, taking back what's rightfully mine. Bilgewater, the 12 seas, and the head of Sarah Fortune.
And that's where we'll end today's.
Oh,
shit.
Oh,
I got
beans.
screwed over.
Oh, no.
I mean, I think we all knew that was going to be Pandora's box. Let's face it.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think it was going to be that bad. I thought whatever it was, I was like, I'll be able to recover from this for sure.
It was necromancy, bro. It was bad.
I thought it was
juju.
gonna be like a necromancer, like a wand. That it was like a
It's
necromancer's
never
wand
a
or something.
wand.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Really, really good. Damn. Okay. Well, I can't say much more than that. I'm really excited to see what happens, but I'm gonna have to wait just as you guys will. So that's gonna be the end of the show. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We hope that you had a blast listening, and we'll have the links for everything in the description. But in the meantime, you can check us out at alternatedreality.com for more information on any of our other projects, including our other D&D podcast, The League of Extraordinary Dicemen. We'll soon have a page up specifically for this as well. And yeah, so you can check out, we'll have a whole bunch of more information about the characters and everything like that if you want to read up a little bit more about them. And then you can also follow us on Twitter at alternatedreal, and also the Legends of Runeterra Twitter at Ruination. And lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and review at Apple Podcasts. Just to make it a little bit more fun for that too, we're going to be doing what we do on our LOR pod, the Ruination. For every 5-star review that we get, we will actually read it off in a character of the show, League of Legends, or Legends of Runeterra character voice of your choosing. So just let us know somewhere at the beginning or end of the review, and we'll make sure to do that. Chu, you're excited for that one, aren't you? You're the best voice actor out of any of us.
I just found out about that, and that it sounds like if we actually get a lot of people do this, that I've got some homework to do to actually learn all these voices. It's not great excited. It's not super exciting. But look,
I don't have any doubt in your abilities whatsoever.
Exactly. He's being
look at
modest
this way,
right
folks.
now.
For a 2-second review of 5 stars, you can make Chu do at least 15 minutes worth of work.
There you go.
Yay.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to some quick plugs before we send this episode out. So, Chu, plug it.
Yeah, so make sure you check out our videos, whether it's gameplay of video games, whether it's reviews, guides, you name it. Head on over to Alternate Reality on YouTube. We're going to be doing a lot more over the next couple of months with that, particularly because we have a lot of amazing video games coming out. I stream quite a few days of the week over on twitch.tv/Chewburger84, and you can find me pretty much on all the socials, which I'm going to try and be more active on from now on, at Chewburger84.
All right, and then Ray, plug it away.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at Ray Mayhem on all the socials. Check out my Twitter, because it's a lot of D&D and Legends of Runeterra. Speaking of Legends of Runeterra, if you like to play, then come check out Mike and Sean and I on the Ruination. We have a lot of fun, and sometimes we even agree on things. And I am also over on the League of Extraordinary Dicemen. If you enjoyed this D&D experience, then hop over there where we get a little rowdier. It's a different
Not
type
as PG-13.
of play. Nope. It is definitely hard R, but it's fun. It's a whole lot of fun over there.
NC-17.
All right, guys, so that's going to do it as promised. So this has been the Adventures of Runeterra, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.